agaknya kau lepaskan tu invasive species?
Tak tahu.
Kau Mat sini. Jom.
The European Commission (EU) consider an alien species as a plant or animal that accidentally or intentionally released into a region where it does not normally occur, reproduce and has serious negative consequences for that environment. So invasive species also called as alien species. So before we dive deeper into our video, you need to know the difference between non-native species and invasive species. So non-native species is a species that not originally from that region, but they're just chilling and thus not causing any negative impact toward that environment, toward that region. While invasive species is a species that not from that region, but they are causing a serious effect into that environment. So in a simple word, you can say that all invasive species are non-native species, but not all non-native species are invasive species.
Today, I'm going to explain about the cause of invasive species. First, abandoned pets. Due to being released in a new environment, they lack of natural predators which increase their population. For example, red-eared slider turtles. These cute little turtles are often abandoned as pets. As a result, they have become invasive in many areas. This is because they have certain advantage over the native population, such as lower age at maturity, larger body size, and higher fertility rates. This advantage cause them to outcompete the native species. The second cause of invasive species is the trade in wildlife. Illegal plants and wildlife trafficking are a main cause of invasive species. This trafficking happens due to the market demand for exotic animals and plants to be used in food, medicine, and fashion industries. Illegal trafficking of wildlife is a crime that turns over between 10 and 20 billion euros a year, according to a Worldwide Fund for Nature (WWF). The third cause is boating activities. Boaters that often explore new water bodies may transmit an invasive species if the boat are not cleaned properly. For example, catfish can cling onto the hull of a boat. This accidentally caused the catfish to be transferred to a new habitat and disrupting them due to their high reproductive rates and predatory behavior. Next, I'm going to talk about impact of invasive species. First, health impacts. Invasive species can cause physical and mental harm towards humans. First of all, it transmits diseases. For example, rat carry disease that can be transmitted to humans such as leptospirosis. Secondly, they can cause physiological discomfort by harming nature, which is the provider of stress relief and promote better mental well-being. Thus, decrease in greenery can make humans harder to win down. The second impact is food shortage. Next, invasive species can threaten food security, which causes limited sources that increases prices. The third one is economic impact. After that, invasive species will reduce crops production, thus affecting the yield available for business opportunities. In some cases, it can also destroy infrastructure such as public roads, which lead to increased maintenance costs. For example, the Japanese knotweed can cause the root to leave and crack roads and sidewalks. Next, it can transform ecosystems. Introducing invasive species to a new habitat can cause competition to the native species. This causes the native species to compete with alien invasive species, causing them to be displaced. Invasive species can also harm the native species by introducing diseases or parasites. The decrease of native will indirectly cause the ecosystem to change.
Lastly, for the impact, decline of native. So the hybridization of native and alien species can create an infertile hybrid. So this will reduce the population of the original native species. Auntie, as the eyewitness of the commotion that happened between the two girls, what do you think of the situation?
Those two girls you know, the one that throw the turtle into the river one did she not know that the turtle is an invasive species called red-eared turtle? That one turtle if it enters the river one once that turtle enter the river, oh my god, the ecosystem will crumble down, you know.
Okay, Auntie, so what do you think of the solution?
Auntie think that the one of the first solution to handle this problem, right, is
before the invasive species even enter the ecosystem, you know. One of the first solution I think is the custom needs to be more aware of what being imported into the Malaysia, you know. And then makcik think like we need to educate the public about this, you know, because or else the situation like that will happen again, you know.
Okay, auntie, but what if the situation already happened? What if the rice already become the porridge?
I think the government should always monitor the infected area, you know, because if we didn't see what is happening towards the ecosystem, it will really be bad lah for the ecosystem, you know. And then secondly, I think as a community kan, we should always help each other to see whether the infected area of the invasive species, we should like work together to remove it, you know. Like not as in like instantly kill it lah kan. It's just I think just capture and give it to the responsible people that can handle the situation, you know.
In conclusion, they came uninvited, they spread unchecked, but their future is in our hand. Invasive species may be silent invader, but we don't have to be silent victim. With action, awareness and unity, we can stop the spread and heal the damage and defend our ecosystem and our local species, which is native species. That's it.